Good morning, everybody. Come on, can I hear it back? Good morning, everybody. Oh, superb energy. So let's start this beautiful morning with a huge round of applause. Let's give it up, everybody. The start of the morning should be energetic, right? Wow, that's great. That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shweta Thukral, and on behalf of Platinum Partner IBM, Gold Partner Happy, Silver Partner Walters Kluwer, Iris GST, AI Partner E42, Equity Solution Partner Capita, Knowledge Partner Resurgent India, Exhibit Partner NextDim SKP, Fast and Facts, Consulting and Financial Partner Kaizen. Welcome everyone to the 4th CFO Confex and Awards 2024 Mumbai chapter curated by Gain Skills Business Media. It's truly gratifying to witness the gathering of esteemed colleagues and industry leaders for what promises to be an insightful and inspiring event. Today's conference presents a unique opportunity for us to unite, exchange experiences, and delve into the evolving role of the CFO in shaping business strategy and propelling growth. As financial leaders, we stand at the forefront of navigating the complexities of the global economy, making our adaptability and innovation more crucial than ever. The agenda is brimming with excitement, featuring thought-provoking keynotes, interactive panel discussions, and invaluable networking sessions. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors, partners, and organizing team for their tireless efforts and dedication in bringing this event to fruition. Additionally, a special thank you to all our speakers and panelists for their willingness to share their knowledge and insights with us. Well, now it's time to introduce our keynote speaker for the day. The session will be about the emerging role of CFOs in driving business strategy and growth in hybrid work cultures. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our keynote speaker for the day. Mr. Sambasivan has got 32 years of experience in FMCG and service industries. With a 15-year stint at Vodafone handling finance and operation roles, now he's been with Tata Play for over a decade. Before that, he was across with Vodafone in the UK, crunching numbers as the regional financial controller for Northern Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our keynote speaker for the day, Mr. Sambasivan, CFO at Tata Play Limited.
Yeah, this light is a little too much, I think, but it's fine. You can dim it. Is it possible? Because otherwise, so I've been given already 25 seconds are gone from my 15 minutes. So I have to complete this session in say 14 minutes. What I will do is a very short whirlwind tour of what my story in the last 11 years with Tata Play is, right? So when we started, I joined this company in 2013, and when I joined the company was a 6-7-year-old company. Now it is an 18-year-old company. So things were, I would say, as it would have been for a not so automated kind of a scenario, and not so much of what you can say analytics, not so much of what you can say business partnering, not so much of insight and storytelling. So therefore, it was like a basic finance function is what was there, which was rightly so, because when the business is moving at a very fast pace, typically the systems and processes take a little bit longer to catch up with the pace of the business. So that's where we were, and we were growing at almost a 15 to 20% annual top line growth when I joined the company. It went on for another 5-6 years, the same 15 to 20% top line growth. But later on, the last 3-4 years, it's been stagnating for various other industry reasons, right? So I'm not talking about the DTH business here. I'm talking about mainly what's the role of a CFO. So the first thing what I did was to look at all the systems and processes, SOPs and all, they were not written. First thing we did that we tried to set the house in order, then we outsourced, we automated a lot of things, we did RPA, we did AI, we did a lot of things, so that we were in a certain good place to start something called business partnering. So I would say really we started business partnering and the topic as to driving the strategy, driving the business growth in a meaningful manner only around 2018, 2019, I would say. Till the first 4-5 years, we were trying to set the house in order, keeping the infrastructure ready, so that we can actually play this role of business partnering and strategy development. So once we started, see right now we are in a much more advanced stage in the company. So in 2019, I think 5 years back, we had a finance strategy discussion. Typically what we do every year, we create a strategy statement and say this is what the future of finance is going to look like. In that year, we said that there are 4 pillars which will be important for finance to look at for future. Number 1, as I talked about, is to become a better business partner using latest technologies and getting into data insights and storytelling, right? Data, analytics, insights and storytelling. We can say data and analytics is one part, part 3, and story and insights is another part, right? First you start with data, then you analyze the data, then you have some insights and then you tell the stories. So this is how we created these 4 pillars. Business partnering, I am again repeating, business partnering, technology, latest technology, data and analytics as one group, insights and storytelling is another group. So these 4 pillars have remained unchanged for the last, I would say 5 years now. So we have just added one sentence last year saying that, one small clause last year saying that for improving customer profitability. So that piece we added in this strategy statement. Otherwise, this has remained unchanged for the last 4 years. So how did we implement these things? So each one I will spend maybe 2-3 minutes on. What do I mean by business partnering? What are the things which we did which we are not doing earlier? So business partnering in my definition is that we need to work like a co-pilot with the CEO. At least that's what I started doing in terms of defining the strategy, in terms of saying where the growth is coming from, in terms of even devising some of the sales strategies, some of the operational strategies, in terms of devising, doing some brainstorming. So we have something called annual operating plan, which you all must be doing it, and there is a business plan. We have a 5-year business plan. So typically about a day or 2, we spend around doing discussions. The leadership team goes off-site and discusses what the plan for the next year would be, which I am sure many of you would already be doing. So in that meeting, we can play a role in terms of coming out with ideas, doing some lot of brainstorming, and that is one important piece so that the plan for the year is fixed. So once the plan for the year is fixed, how do we do business partnering on a continuous basis? So here what I do for myself is that I calendarize I am a kind of slave of my calendar. So what I do is that I put some time saying that, okay, this is what we should spend time on, what I call is focus time, and think of how we can support each and every part of the business. For example, one day I may be spending time with customer operations team. One day I may be going to the market and spending time with the sales team. One day I may be going with the marketing team and discussing the pricing discussions with the team members. So it appears kind of ad hoc, but there is a method in my mind, at least in terms of going function by function and trying to see how we can support them, ask questions to them, saying how we can help you better, what are the things you are looking at. The moment you start interacting on a substantive basis, for example, the number of times I have discussed on NPS, Net Promoter Score, is phenomenal, I would say, on how to improve the Net Promoter Score of the company, which has nothing to do with the finance job. Because ultimately we believe that once the Net Promoter Score improves continuously, it is a reflection of the customer satisfaction. If the customer satisfaction improves, then the customer stays longer. If the customer stays longer, he gives you subscription revenue. And if he gives you subscription revenue for a longer period, the overall profitability of the company goes up. So that is why NPS score for us is a very important driver for the overall business, and we have touch point wise NPS, daily NPS, hourly NPS, like that. Also we have done major research on NPS. And our team actually mainly drives this particular NPS project within our team, talking to various functions. So which is not a very normal thing to happen, right? The second thing what we did is that there is a concept called CEO in our company. CEO is a term coined, or it's a brainchild of my managing director. We believe that CEO culture is important. The C, E and O are three letters: collaboration, experimentation and ownership. So this culture his owner is my managing director Harit Nagpal, and he coined this in 2010. He had joined the company in 2010, and we believe that we should have a CEO culture, which means that we need to collaborate, we need to experiment. Experimentation is given a lot of weightage, and we need to own things, ownership. Everybody has to take ownership of what they are supposed to do. So with this culture in mind, about 5-6 years back, our CEO thought of asking the team members, we have about 1,500 people, asking all the team members, saying that, okay, if you want to experiment on some new idea, we are okay to provide resources, we are okay to give you the necessary support, which may or may not be directly relevant to your function, but you can take an operating guy, like a sales guy can take a customer operations project, an operations person can take a technology project if he's got that interest. He has to create a team, and there is a CEO project which is run. At the end of the year, we select the top 3 delivered projects and we give some cash award. This started about 5 years back. Again, this whole thing in terms of getting the ideas, curating it, talking to the respective team leaders, getting the team organized and having a regular governance. The entire operationalizing of this CEO project culture is done by a finance team member, so to say, right? So this is something which is not, again, which is kind of alien to normal finance function. So this is where I say my definition of business partnering. One is like we play a role in NPS, we play a role in CEO project, we play a big role in CEO project. Similarly, any project, any collaborative projects, big time projects, I can give you one example of late. There is a big focus on AI. So the company appointed a big agency, third party agency, to come out with ideas on Gen AI at an organizational level. It's an 8-week project, and we just completed it. In fact, today is the final presentation in the afternoon. And this entire leading of this project, talking to the various stakeholders, making sure that the third party agency, one of the big consultants, is getting all the necessary inputs, collating the inputs, curating it, preparing the ROI model, and also making sure the presentation which they are making, which the consultant is making, is fit for purpose. It's all being done by 2 finance guys. Sorry, I would not say finance guys, 1 strategy person and 1 finance person. By the way, I was also given additional responsibility of strategy. So in the last, I think 2-3 years back, when the strategy head left, so my managing director said that, why don't you handle strategy? So this is also a direct impact on business, right? So latest technology. So I've given a lot of examples on how business partnering can be done by a CFO. Then the other 3 things I'll talk about. One is on technologies. I always believe in a lot of latest technologies. I keep learning. I keep understanding new technologies. If somebody has seen my LinkedIn post, they will see that I keep forwarding a lot of things around AI, Python, this thing, that thing and all those things. So I constantly learn, and I also, I think, encourage, I would say, the teams to learn, the entire team. I have a team of about 90 odd people, because finance in our definition is a slightly larger function. For example, supply chain is part of finance function, the operating supply chain is part of finance. Then we have got something called business excellence, which is looking at the process maturity, process excellence, Six Sigma, all those things. That is also part of finance. Then we also have, as I said, strategy is also part of CFO's role. And we got a few other things also, revenue assurance. If somebody is from telecom, they will know. Anybody, I saw somebody from telecom, right? So you will know revenue assurance is a key function. So that's also part of finance. So we have a large team, so to say. Now what we have said is that everybody will upskill and everybody will learn about AI, and every single individual will become a master of AI. Maybe an ideal situation, idealistic goal But that is something which we consistently focus on, and we have been working on this for a long time. On an average, every team member of mine gets to learn for at least 10 full days in a year, if not more, sponsored by the company. That we have a chart, we have a plan, we have an individual who actually makes sure that the learning goals of every individual is met. So there's a structure and a process which is there, which has been going on for many years. For the last 10 years we have been doing. So that's another aspect of technology. Data and analytics is again a fallout of this. I personally believe that single version of truth is important, and we kind of achieved it say around 4 or 5 years back. Till that time data was all around, and sales data will not tally with custom ops data, will not tally with the field data, will not tally with our finance data, all those things were there. But over a period of time now it is all sorted out, and we have reached that level of single version of truth. And in fact the monthly review which our managing director does for a full day, the entire presentation, or I would call it entire set of sheets which is all in Tableau, that's presented by the FP&A team. Be it a sales data, be it NPS data, be it is research data, be it any other data, all functions, data is all available in central place, and we take it and we present it, and it is actually live changeable, meaning you can click and find out what's happening. For example, if suddenly my managing director wants to know what is happening in Bihar for the last 10 days, you can click and find out while the meeting is happening. So those kind of things are there. So that is another important piece which you should say. Data and analytics very important. So then what happens, your decision making becomes easier, right? So once you got all the data in a certain form, and it's very easy for consumers to use the data, and particularly for all the user functions, it's life is easy. So that's the other thing which we are focusing on. And the last thing is storytelling, which is the most difficult piece I am finding, is to create a story. So there are 3 principles I use for any slide. If any slide is presented to me, the first question I ask is, what is it that you are trying to tell me? Second is, why is that happening? Meaning you need to say why. One is what, second is why, and third is so what. So if you can answer these 3 questions in every slide, again life becomes easy. So the presenter has to think through a lot. If he has to present in one slide, what is the story, why, what is the insight behind that data, and so what. So what means, is there an action coming out of it? I am not here, in fact, I have heard many times my boss, my managing director telling me, I am not here for general knowledge, right? I am not here to look at the slide for general knowledge. I want to look at the slide for action. If there is no action coming out of it, don't tell me. There is no need, right? If there is nothing to be done, it is just matter of information. You can send a mail. You don't have to spend time sitting and discussing and presenting it just for creating a general knowledge for the other person. So that's a bias for action. So these are the 4 things which I think if we do consistently, I think one can move up the ladder of what you can say business partnering, and the role of CFO could be much enriched. With that, I will stop. Thank you. Because it says time's up, so I have to stop. Thank you. Any questions, if we can? Or there's no time for questions, that's also fine.
Okay, if there is any question. There is? We can take one question. Okay, well, moving ahead, sir, I would request you to kindly stay back on the stage. And now I would request Mr. Deepak Goyal, Global CFO, EPL Limited, to kindly felicitate Mr. Sambasivan.